Alright. What is up, YouTube? HPJ here. Sorry about that. That was actually my, I should know what that was. That was my alarm. Now, I'm here with you guys because we're going to be talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! There was a major update for the most recent format to be added to the Yu-Gi-Oh franchise, and that is Yu-Gi-Oh Genesis. So Genesis is getting a major update with a wave of changes for older cards and some of the newer cards. And if you haven't already checked out my video for Yu-Gi-Oh Genesis, please do. I'll leave it probably at the end of this video, or maybe do the previous video uh, playlist and icon situation, so you guys can see all of that. But for the most part, Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesis is basically a no pendulum, no link monsters. All your cards are going to have a point system from 0 to 10, 0 to 100, and the minimum points that can be used in a tournament for an official tournament based deck will be 100. And it sounds a little crazy, but it's actually fairly simple. And the crazy thing about it is that tournaments can organize how many points they want you to use, or what standard or setup they can. They can even say all the cards cost 0, and then you can just use any number of cards in your deck for this format. But like I said, there's no pendulum, there's no pendulum, and there's no link. So while yes, it kills off a majority of those archetypes, there is still other archetypes in the game that you can easily use and play along with them. Now, what is the announcement today? Well, Konami dropped some waves of major news, and I did not want to leave you guys out of it because I want to talk about it myself. So there are a plethora of cards that are going to have their numbers increase, while some of them are going to have their decrease. And then there was actually a thread of conversation from Konami TCG talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesis and their whole ordeal. So I'm going to go ahead and read through everything for you guys as best as I can. If I get any Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards names incorrect, my apologies. If you know the correct name, I'm sure you guys can get it. So, starting off with the cards that are going up in their cost. This means that their numbers are increasing for your deck capacity. It's funny though that I say deck capacity because I know a lot of the older Yu-Gi-Oh video games had deck capacities, and certain cards had a certain number attached to them in order for you. It really reminds me of that, actually. And I'm sure many of you in that modding community are trying to figure out ways that you can implement some of the newer cards into the game. And I know it's going to be a little hard too, but give it a try. I want to definitely see how you guys do that. So, cards that are going up in cost are Chicken Game, Dark World Dealings, Demise of the Land, Dimension Shifter, Demoness Spiral, or Daimonis Spiral, Evil Swarm Ouroboros, Foolish Burial of Goods, Into the Void, K9-4, K9-60A, Katsu Dragon Tail, Kitsu Dragon Tail, Left Arm Offerings, Life Sworn Dragonling, Lureless Barrel Canary, Lureless Bird Call, Mathmex Sigma, Multi-Universe, Metaverse, number 38, number 60, number 67, number F-Zero, Utopic Future Draco, numbers Evil, or he made the manifestation of Mikanko, Ojama Duo, Ojama Trio, Planet Pathfinder, Prohibition, Pseudospace, Side Blocker, Sail Band, Star Seraph Sector, Star Seraph Sovereignty, Transaction Rollback, Trap Haltic, and Vanquish Soul Holy Sue. Then, for all of the cards that are having a cost down, they are Arahime, the manifestation of Mikanko, Blackwing, Shikoke, the Snow Blast, Blackwing, Zephyros the Elite, Black Dragon, Droll and Lockbird, Gladiator's Rejection, Harpie's Feather Duster, Heavy Storm, Infinite Impermanence, Monster Reborn, Milk Charming Meows, Premature Burial, Return of the Dragon Lords. Now, according to the official blog, there is some information here talking about things, and I'll go over it as best as I can, which is the initial points list was frozen at the end of August, so we could focus on the Genesis launch without a constant adding additional changes. So we have built up a bit of backlog for further internal testing, and now you have the results of affects the points moving forward. Cars that universally see a ton of play will have their points go up, and cars you don't see have any often play will have their points come down. And of course, they will always keep hands on the steering wheel so that to make sure no FTK combos creep in even if nobody plays them. Points decaying into automatic. We are thinking about an ideal update timing in somewhere within 4 to 6 weeks range, but it will depend on the data available. In order to see which cards are getting used and which cards are not, we need deck lists. So we'll have the deck list of the big events that we're running, like the Genesis Invitational. We're running at upcoming YCS events, but we are really hoping to see deck lists from in-store Genesis tournaments, Genesis public events at regionals, and etc. Tournament organizers have never been required to send them to us, but you can help out by taking what cards you're seeing and what cards are winning at your local events. Just talk about it in usual places, and we'll see it. If you can, use the hashtag Yu-Gi-Oh Genesis in your post, even better. We're also flexible on the update schedule, and if you prefer a longer gap in changes and updates, then we can also do that too if enough people want. Seeking new sets will notice Dimensional Spiral and the K9 number 4 from Doom of Dimensions. Have points increase. So basically, this is just talking about the increase of points of certain cards because of how powerful they are in the future set and how people are waiting for them. I'm just going to cut this short because I don't want to get into this any longer than I have to. But the first chance that you're going to see anything involving the Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesis will be at YCS Anaheim, which is in a couple of weeks, which is actually in a few weeks. There also will be deck building sites getting set up for strategies as well on the main Genesis page if you guys would like to see it. So yeah, there's a ton of cards that are going to have their numbers changed, which is pretty good for some of them because a lot of them definitely did sweep under the radar, while some other cards will be basically getting their numbers dropped. Just for convenience there. And then they said between a month to a month and a half update for those cards, but they want to see how the first major events will handle them. So now at that point, we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. 32 additional cards in conjunction to the cards that were already on the list. So that now makes it a grand total of 537 cards for the changes in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesis setup. And it was actually, they took out a couple of cards too. So wait, one, two, so two out. So that's 30. What was that? 503 minus two. Yeah, no, 505 minus two. That's 503, plus the additional 32. So that makes it 535 cards now that have a point system attached to them for Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesis. Which, okay, that's fair. And then having the updates coming in and out will also be fair as well because then you get to see. Now the only thing is that yeah, we got to see what decks are going to be doing well, what decks are not going to be doing well, how are they going to set up the tournaments, what cards are they going to see and focus on. I do believe a lot of the draw power cards are definitely going to see some changes like Pot of Greed, Graceful Charity, just because they're going to be really good power spells and stuff. But I have seen some people play them and say, for power spells that they are and the history that they have behind them, Graceful Charity and Pot of Greed have definitely not aged well, but are understandably broken for what they are. You know, Graceful Charity is a draw 3 cards, discard 2, so you get to get rid of 2 cards that would be dead. To oh snap, I gotta reload this. 2 cards that are dead, and then be able to use those 2 cards in other scenarios. It's like I said, it's all really just a wave of things that Konami is still working on with the Genesys format. And I said it also in my video before that Genesys format is going to be completely different from the original TCG and OCG. And that this point system is not a bad idea, but I also think maybe this point system and how things are lining up are going to be a way to help focus on the ban list. You know, what cards are doing well, what cards aren't doing well, how are they interacting with things. You know, when we cut out Pendulum, when we cut out Link, can it be possible for this to run extremely well? People have been also screaming that they want it in Master Duel, so they can test things out there in Master Duel. So I'm just like, all right, you guys enjoy this, because I can't really give you anything myself because I don't know where to begin or where to start. But it's also going to be even more challenging because yes, while some cards I used to play cannot be played because of the restrictions now, I am now giving the access to basically a ton of spells and traps that I was not able to have access to. So it makes it fair on some ends, it makes it unfair on some other ends, but it really is just a magnitude or a level of what things can work and what things can't work, and then just figuring how they are. So with that being said, you guys, my final thoughts are, just give everything a try. Let's see how things work. We have our big event coming up. We'll focus on getting that together and just going from there and seeing how things turn out. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give myself this big yawn. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I do apologize for um, the website freezing because YGO Organization is the one that I'm reading off of, and I apologize if they had a little freeze. But everything else, like I said, it's just my own opinion. If you guys want to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesis, go for it. Let me know how you think about it. Let me know what things could be improved. Let Konami know what things you would like to see in, and all of that. So, thanks everybody for watching. I do appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel because it helps out tremendously. You can hit the notification bell to be informed of when I upload more of my content to the channel. Socials are in the description box below. And with that said, thank you so much for watching, everyone. HPJ, signing out.